Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Haziq bin Azman. My matric number 1201358. Okay, today I will review the article about perform kunut in salah. Okay, this article explore the controversy over the use of kunut during the Fajar prayer among scholars of Islam. Some scholars see it as a sunnah, while others call it as a bid'ah. Different schools of thoughts make different arguments. The Hanafi mazhab believe that kunut is a bid'ah and has been abrogated, while the Maliki and Shafi'i mazhab regard kunut as the sunnah or recommended. The Hanbali mazhab suggests kunut for the witr prayer but not for subuh, and adherents are told to follow the imam's lead during collective prayers in accordance with Prophet Muhammad SAW teaching. Following scholars like An-Nawawi and Ash-Shafi'i, kunut at subuh is frequently observed as a sunnah in societies where the Shafi'i mazhab is predominant, such as Malaysia. But in the end, the decision to perform kunut is based more on personal belief than religious principle because it concerns legal matters. In light of the example of scholars like Sufyan al-Thawri and al-Shafi'i, who show tolerance for opposing views while upholding their conviction. This article concludes by advocating for tolerance and respect towards those who choose not to practice kunut, citing the example of scholars like Sufyan al-Thawri and al-Shafi'i, who demonstrate tolerance for differing viewpoints while maintaining their convictions. It emphasizes the importance of mutual respect and understanding among people with diverse beliefs. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Aida Nabila Binti Sabri, number matric 1201360. Today, I would like to review the article about Ikhtilaf in congregation in performing prayer in Shafi'i School of Thought, a review. Okay, this article discusses the differences of opinion among scholars in the Shafi'i school regarding the law of congregational prayer, whether it is considered obligatory for every individual, which is fardu ain, a collective obligation, which is fardu kifayah, or a confirmed sunnah, which we call sunnah mu'akkad. Here is the review of the article. The article opens by discussing the wisdom and virtues of congregational prayer, which serve as a good introduction to the discussion of differences of opinion within the Shafi'i school on this issue. The first opinion discussed is that congregational prayer is obligatory for every individual, which we call as fardu ain. The article explains that individual prayer is still valid but not following the sunnah if not performed in congregation. There is an explanation of the concept of fardu ain followed by evidence from the Quran used to support this view. However, the article also provides arguments against this opinion, stating that the hadith used does not directly support the obligation of fardu ain. The article continues by discussing the opinion that congregational prayer is a collective obligation, which we call it as fardu kifayah. This is explained as an obligation that must be fulfilled by a portion of the community, with the specificity of praying in congregation symbolizing Islamic unity. However, there is also a discussion stating that the hadith used to support this view does not directly indicate the obligation of fardu kifayah. The last opinion discussed is that the congregational prayer is a confirmed sunnah, which we call it as sunnah mu'akkad. The article explained that this is the opinion of Imam Rafi'i and Imam Mawardi, with several hadiths used to support it. However, there is an emphasis that this argument also has a weaknesses. The analysis of the article on Ikhtilaf in the law of congregational obligatory prayer within the Shafi'i school underscores its valuable insights. It adeptly outlines the varying perspectives held within the school, offering readers a comprehensive understanding of the debate. The inclusion of evidence drawn from the Quran and Hadith to bolster each viewpoint enriches the discourse, lending credibility and depth to the discussion. Nevertheless, the analysis highlights notable weaknesses in certain arguments presented, particularly concerning the interpretation of the reference hadith. Despite these shortcomings, the analysis served as a commendable resource for exploring the complexities inherent in this theological discourse. In conclusion, the article offers a commendable insight into the ongoing debate within the Shafi'i school concerning the judgment on congregational prayer. It successfully navigates through the intricacies of different opinions, contributing to a richer comprehension of the subject matter. Nevertheless, there remains a necessity for additional scrutiny of the arguments presented to buttress each viewpoint. By encouraging further review and analysis, the article paves the way for a more nuanced understanding of the complexities surrounding this theological issue within the Shafi'i tradition. That's all from me. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhamad Aiman bin Hairuzam, my matric number 1201387. So, I would like to review an article about the concept of Ikhtilaf in the perspective of Imam Al-Shafi'i, which is Islamic studies of questioning differences as a blessing. Right, so the first one is introduction. This concept, it explores the idea of Ikhtilaf or disagreements from the standpoint of Imam Al-Shafi'i's legal philosophy. Also, the writers, which are Sadri and Monica Desha, examines the significance of variations in Islamic jurisprudence and frame them as the examples of divine mercy and wisdom rather than as causes for division. So, I would like to summarize the article. So, the initial part of the article is discussing the Ikhtilaf within the context of Islamic philosophy, also emphasizing its role in fostering intellectual diversity and promoting academic discourse. The author delve into Imam Al-Shafi'i's intricate interpretation of Ikhtilaf, also drawing on his teachings and methods to highlight its significance as a natural outcome of human interpretation and reasoning applied to Islamic texts. Other than that, this article delves further into the practical applications of Ikhtilaf in Islamic theology and law, which is Imam Al-Shafi'i's approach to resolving differing opinions through legal reasoning and jurisdiction preference. So, the part of study questions, there are 3 study questions. The first one is, how does Imam Al-Shafi'i's perspective on Ikhtilaf differ from traditional views within Islamic jurisprudence, and what implications does this hold for contemporary Muslim societies grappling with a diverse interpretation of Islamic law? The second one is, in what ways does the concept of Ikhtilaf as a manifestation of divine wisdom challenge prevailing notions of uniformity and rigidity within Islamic legal discourse, and how can this paradigm shift contribute to a more inclusive and dynamic understanding of Islamic jurisprudence? The last one is how does Imam Ash-Shafi'i approach to reconciling conflicting opinions through principles such as qiyas and istihsan offer practical guidance for contemporary jurists and scholars, which is to seeking and navigate complex legal issues and adapt Islamic law to contemporary contexts. So, we go to the study approach. The concept of study is aiming to explore the concept of ikhtilaf in the perspective of Imam Shafi'i and its implications within Islamic jurisprudence. Also, the approach involves a qualitative analysis of primary sources, including Imam Shafi'i works, as well as secondary literature on Islamic legal theory and jurisprudence. Okay, so we move to the research design. There are two research design. The first one is conduct an extensive review of relevant literature on ikhtilaf, Imam Ash-Shafi'i's jurisprudential perspective, and Islamic legal theory to establish a theoretical framework for the study. The second one is the research. The research will analyze Imam Ash-Shafi'i's major works such as Kitab Risalah, and his legal opinions, which is fatwas, to understand his views on ikhtilaf and its significance. So, method for data analysis. The research will systematically analyze primary and secondary sources to identify key themes, arguments, and positions related to ikhtilaf in Imam Shafi'i's perspective. The second one is compare and contrast Imam Shafi'i's view with the other scholars and legal schools, also identifying areas of convergence and divergence. The last one, the research will analyze case studies to understand the practical implications of ikhtilaf within Islamic jurisprudence, examining how legal reason and scholarly debate shape outcomes. So we move to the observation study. Record key findings and insights from the literature review, primary sources analysis, and comparative studies, and identifying recurring themes, arguments, and examples related to ikhtilaf and Imam Shafi'i's perspective. Other than that, not any challenges or limitations encountered during the research process, such as access to primary sources or differing interpretations. We move to the debate and conclusion. The article talks about how encourage organized discussions among academics and professionals regarding the idea of ikhtilaf and how it affects Islamic jurisprudence. The second one is the article also offers a thorough overview of the study's conclusions, emphasizing significant discoveries and advancement in our knowledge of ikhtilaf, which is from Imam Ash-Shafi'i's point of view. So, I would like to critique the concept of the ikhtilaf. The concept of ikhtilaf is criticized based on a number of important points. The first one is the study's exclusive in concentration of Imam Shafi'i's viewpoint restricts the breadth of analysis and leaves the chance for a more comprehensive comparative analysis incorporating other significant scholars and legal schools within Islamic jurisprudence. Okay, so also ikhtilaf reading is primarily from a positive perspective might miss important objections of challenges to Imam Ash-Shafi'i's belief, which calls for a more thorough investigation. In addition, the lack of case studies or empirical support reduces the study's relevance to actual situations, emphasizing the need for a more grounded analysis. So the conclusion, I would like to finalize the review of the concept, which is concept of ikhtilaf in Imam Ash-Shafi'i's perspective, provides a thorough examination of the idea that ikhtilaf itself in the insight of the context of Imam Shafi'i's legal philosophy. Also, the article emphasized the intrinsic value of intellectual diversity within Islamic scholarship by reinterpreting difference as a source of divine wisdom and mercy. The last one, it also promotes inclusivity and understanding amongst people in order to foster a vibrant and peaceful Muslim community. So, I think that's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Binti Azzahar, 1201-435. So, the article that I review is Ikhtilaf Ulama tentang kedudukan basmalah ketika dalam Al-Fatihah ketika dibaca dalam solat. Written by Fatul Rahman. The article is about difference of opinion among scholars in Islamic jurisprudence. Understanding ikhtilaf in Islamic law. Exploring the permissibility and prohibition of difference of opinion, varying interpretation of Quranic verses and hadith. Understanding the Prophet action and words. Disparities in assessing the authenticity and quality of hadith. For debate and discussion among scholars, recitation of basmalah in Surah Al-Fatihah during prayer, perspective of various scholars. Evidence and reasoning supporting different position. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farhatul Izzah Binti Khairul Anwar Syazalli. My matric number 1202862. Today, I want to review an article about funeral prayer. The article presents a comparative study of the funeral prayer, focusing on the definitions provided by Imam Shafi'i and Muhamad ibn Jarir al-Tabari. The study addressed two research questions about the definitions of the funeral prayer and estimate methods used by both scholars. It employs a normative legal research approach with a comparative focus, utilizing library research methods. The findings indicate that Imam Shafi'i and the majority of scholars interpret the word prayer in Hakimini, considering the funeral prayer to be the same as any other prayer. Conversely, Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabari interprets the word prayer in emergency manner, considering the funeral prayer simply as a form of prayer due to the absence of bowing and prostration and in its implementation. As a result, ablutions is not obligatory before performing the funeral prayer. The study aims to provide insights into the estimate methods using the two scholars and their differing interpretations of the funeral prayer's definitions. The summary highlights the contrasting perspective of Imam Shafi'i and Imam Ibn Jarir al-Tabari on the funeral prayer, shedding light on the different interpretations of the term praying and implications for the funeral prayer. The article effectively captures the essence of the comparative study and its finding, offering valuable insights into the scholars' estimate methods and their distinct definitions of funeral prayer. Imam Shafi'i and Imam Ibn Jarir al-Tabari have different interpretations of the term funeral prayer and its impact on the practice of the funeral prayer. Imam Shafi'i and the majority of scholars interpret the word prayer in Hakimini, considering the funeral prayer to be the same or any other prayer. They view the funeral prayer as a formal prayer, similar to other prayers. Interpret the prayer in a literal sense. On the other hand, Muhammad ibn Jarir al-Tabari interprets the word prayer and the funeral prayer in a majazi manner. He considers the funeral prayer simply as a form of prayer due to absence of bowing, the prostrations and its implementations. As a result, he argues that ablutions is not obligatory before performing the funeral prayers. That's all from me. Thank you.